everyone, this is Courtney
and Brandon
from Ruby Red Farm. Today we're going to take you through a quick tutorial on how to butcher a chicken.
There you go. Perfectly formed bag chicken.
If you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe and stay till the very end for some helpful tips.
Warning, content might be a little graphic for some viewers.
We are going to go into some detail. We'll keep it short and sweet though, so here we go. This is Chickaletta here.
Let's put her down in the cone head first. I usually hold on to the feet. Just gives them a little less control. Reach in, I grab the head, I pull it down just a little bit to where I can see her neck, and then I'm going to cut right along the bottom of this cone, right along the top of her jaw. There's not really a right or wrong way to do it as long as the chicken is unalived at the end of this.
Okay, we can't show this part.
So next, cut. At this point, I'm just kind of keeping her from thrashing around. It keeps everything, again, a little under control. These cones are pretty good size, but we have had them kick themselves out of them. I'll do this until they start kind of calming down a little bit. Once a bird is completely unalived, we'll put them in a scalding pot. This is just a turkey fryer. We actually have a scalder on the way. Running water temperature about 145, 150. Somewhere in between is that sweet spot. I like mine a little on the hotter side to that 150 mark, just because it's less time in the pot. You just got to be really careful because you can over scald. This is just water. You can use water with a little bit of soap in it. Supposedly helps release the chicken feathers a little bit more. I haven't seen that much of a difference between the two, so we just use straight water. Right now I'm just moving it up and down, bobbing it around, kind of trying to get all the water in all the nooks and crannies. And then once they've been in there for a minute, I'll check the wingtip feathers. This one wasn't quite ready. If the wingtips pull out really easy, then the rest of the feathers will pull out really easy. Just like that. Just a little tug, and they pull right out. From there, the chicken goes into our plucker. This plucker is a
Kitchener.
Bought on Amazon, about 400 bucks. Best purchase we've ever made. Maybe better. Turn it on, turn the hose on. From there, pull it out and you got one nice clean chicken. So what I like to do at this point is I will cut the head off. So this is where I kind of we differ from Joel Salatin. I cut the wingtips off. He keeps them on because every ounce adds more money. I don't disagree with that. However, our customers kind of like it a little bit more tailored. I also cut the legs off, which is just a simple cut right across the front. A lot of people keep these for stock. Ours just go to the pigs. So at this point, I'm just taking the leg, I'm bending it backwards, giving a little slice across the front until that tendon is exposed. Then I kind of cut right across the top of that knuckle. Cut all the way through it and it comes clean off. Courtney's going to show you the rest of the process, but at this point, the kill and clean is done. One thing to preface in all of this is no part of this animal goes to waste. All the entrails, the feet, the heads, everything, all of that stuff goes to the pigs. They eat it all. I know it's kind of gross, but it's food for them. And it's different from their normal, grass and grains. At this point, Courtney, you have the floor.
All right, at this point then, I have my clean bird. I'm gonna get any excess feathers that might be on there still, and go ahead, remove any of those. Give a check of the front and the back for any of those extra feathers. Once those extra feathers are taken care of, I start up at the neck. I like to make a vertical cut. So I make a cut really at the base, and I'm coming up. You want to stay a little bit to the chicken's left to make sure that you're not cutting through this esophagus. After I've made that cut, I use my hands to open it just a little bit more. I'm going to use my finger and sweep. So I'm coming in this area here and going back and forth and cleaning that out, just to free things up. As I freed those up, I'm gonna find the trachea here, and once I know it's freed up fully, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a good pull up towards the head and remove that. At this point, and this is a little bit different than Salatin, I like to then take all the digestive pathway here, make sure it's nice and free. I cut the soft tissue. All right, once I've cut that, I'm gonna go ahead and cut through the neck with a pair of garden shears. I'm getting as close to the breast as I can without cutting it. Cut straight through, pull that out a little bit, and I'm going through with my knife, getting as many of these glands as I can, and then just giving a clean cut across. We do not keep the neck on for our customers. They are not interested in it 99% of the time. I'm gonna turn it now to the back. At this point, I'm essentially making a triangle around this digestive area. I'm gonna hold here, pull out, cut at about a 45 degree. Once I have that cut, I'm simply going through and completing it through that layer of fat, being careful not to cut the digestive tract. Once I have that flap open, I'm gonna flip the bird over. I cut the tail completely off. Come in at about a 20 or 30 degree angle, coming around those bones. This just kind of takes practice. If you're not getting straight through, change your angle slightly because you're probably hitting a bone. You want to be hitting the joint. So clear that out. You're pulling a little bit with this hand as you do it so that you can see what's holding you up. And clear out and cut as much of that loose and free as you can until it's completely free. Flipping it back over, using my right hand now. I'm coming in above the fat, widening this out as much as I can. I'm reaching in while holding my hand up against that chest cavity as much as possible. I'm gonna go in, sweep left and right, go in further, go up and under. I am in here and grabbing with my hand up and underneath these organs as high up as I can, all the way around, freeing up as much as possible, getting a good grip, hold with my left and pull with my right, and pull as much out of one shot as I can. I did get a lung on that one. You can see all these organs come out pretty cleanly. Got one lung left behind. Normally both are left behind in there. Grabbing as much as I can get. So I get as much out as I can by hand. Throwing this all just into that waste bucket that goes to the pigs. At this point, this is what the inside of your bird's gonna look like, okay? So it's still a little messy in there, but empty. Same with this side. I'm gonna take a hose and clear out as much of that as I can. Okay. At this point then, I like to also clean the ends of the joints to get as much blood off as possible. That goes for the head side as well. At this point then, the bird just goes into a vat of cold water to start the cooling process. They'll stay in here until we're ready to get them bagged.
So, switching out the pot from dirty water to clean water, this is so we can get the bagging process done. You don't want to pour hot water directly on your grass because it will kill it. So I usually pour it on my driveway. My optimal temperature is about 190 for the bagging process. It depends on the bag manufacturer. I like to run a little on the hotter side because then you can just do 2 or 3 dunks and it's done. The goal is to get that shrink wrapped around the chicken so that it's nice and tight. There's not a whole lot of air in it. That leaves less possibility for freezer burn and all that fun stuff. Get to about 190 like I said, and then we'll start dunking chickens.
So while you wait for the water to heat up then, you are gonna go ahead and get your chickens into the bags ready to go. You wanna dump out all of the water. Get all that water out first. We get the smaller bags from Moorpack. I think these are maybe 11 by 13. I'll put the link in the description. I highly recommend these bags. We've had really good success with them. Gonna put the chicken in head first, where the head used to be. Get it seated all the way down in the bottom. And then these come with straws. Keep these every time and you end up with a nice collection. You're gonna put the straw down into the body pretty far there. Once your straw's in there, you're gonna grab a zip tie. Get it as tight as you can. Get as much air out of there as possible. Give it a little twist. Zip tie goes around and pull it tight. This is what's gonna get dunked down into that hot water.
All right, last step of the process. We got it all bagged. We got the straw in here. We got the zip tie on it. We're going to put it in the water. It is a little on the hot side, so this should only take maybe 1 or 2 dunks. Go 1 dunk, 2 dunk, 3 dunk, and see how that bird's nice and tight in there. From there, I will pull the straw out, pull the zip tie tight. There you go. Perfectly formed bagged chicken. Now what we'll do from here, we'll let these chill in the cooler or walk-in cooler for the next probably 24 hours, maybe a little less than that, but just so they can continue to cool down. We'll also go back, we'll trim the excess zip tie off, the excess bag off, we'll put a label on it, we'll weigh it, we'll put our price on it, and we'll put it in the freezer, and then they're ready for market. So that's it.
All right, a few helpful tips for you guys. First and foremost, you want to make sure that you have a hose handy. You need to keep a wet surface the whole time. Makes cleaning up a lot easier. It also, of course, makes for a much more sanitary situation.
Make sure you have enough propane to continue to run your scalding pot. If you don't, you run out in the middle of it, you're gonna have a bad time. Also, make sure you got sharp knives and a knife sharpener, because your knife will get dull as you go, and because you are cutting through some bone here and there. But if you don't have a sharp knife, it's gonna make for a long day.
Yep. And last but not least, be patient with the process. Everybody has to kind of get used to the strategy and style that works best for you. So I really encourage you to watch a lot of different videos, see which one looks the best, and then just give it a try. Otherwise, this was a really successful day. We got 50 birds into the freezer. This was Courtney.
And Brandon.
From Ruby Red Farm, and I hope you all have a great day.
Rain interrupted a little bit, but...
Yeah, that's right, the torrential downpour.
Make sure you got enough protein.
From Ruby Red Farm. Today we're going to be taking you through, what'd you just do?
Let's get attacked by a fly.
All right, a few...
I thought this was a 5-minute video.